Hi everyone. My name Rahayu Widyawati. I'm from Indonesia. You can call me Ayu. Okay, I myself and Ibu Zaleha would like to share about maker movement in Indonesia. We were started our journey into maker movement in Indonesia around 2017 within the Habibi Festival. Habibi Festival is the biggest science, technology, and innovation festival in Indonesia. Actually, this festival was part of our celebration of the dedication of our third president, Mr. B.J. Habibie. So I think I will let Ibu Zaleha to present all about Makerland and also CAS Foundation as the umbrella of the Makerland. Okay, Ibu Zaleha.
Thank you, Ayu. Let's go to the first slide. So she's got the presentation, and she'll share the screen, and we'll be talking about the maker movement in Indonesia from the perspective of Makerland, and I think not all in our audience know what the maker movement is, so we'll start off by doing a brief explanation of what we mean. Are you sharing the screen, Ayu?
Wait.
Okay, we're waiting. Okay. Meanwhile, I think everyone is aware that Indonesia is an island with a population of 270 million people. It stretches from Sabang to Merauke. Its diversity is amazing, and so it poses its own challenges, but it's been wonderful. I started my own maker journey here, not knowing what it was, in 2014 in Yogyakarta. That's on the east side of the island of Java. Have you got the screen on?
Yeah.
We see her screen, but not the presentation.
Yeah. I know, there's some other list there.
Okay, can you see it?
We can see not the presentation.
Just the screen, all the files, but not the presentation.
Now, can you see my presentation?
No, it's still the files.
Oh, yeah?
So there's a couple ways that you share. In one way, when you click on the green share screen, it will actually share anything you pull up. So it can share your presentation too.
Yeah, here on the screen. Yeah, I think I already shared my presentation.
No, we see.
So maybe what you want to do is
there it is. There it is. You got it.
Okay, wait.
We've got it.
Let me ask you really quick so that I can describe this better, because we've had this happen a few times. What's the better way for me to describe it to somebody? What did you push that made it work?
Okay.
Do you know what you ended up doing that made it work?
Wait.
Okay. Let's just move on.
It's okay then.
It's okay.
It's okay. Keep going. You got it. Perfect.
Okay, so here we go. My name is Zaleha. I am the co-founder of Makerland in Indonesia, and also of CAST Foundation, that's Culture, Art, Science and Technology. So let's start by getting to know who are makers. Well, we're all makers. You and I, we're all makers. As long as we create something with our hands, we are makers. If you're cooking, if you're drawing and just building something. So it is not an exclusive group. We are all makers. So here we've put DIYers, hackers, thinkers, creators, entrepreneurs, shapers, put it together as citizen scientists, engineers, crafters, technologists, artists, and change makers. And to us, change makers are people who advocate for change for social good. Next slide, Ayu. And for those who are not in the know, the maker movement, perhaps, as you mentioned, Jake, the term maker was popularized in the US by Dale Doherty in the Maker Faire. But essentially the maker movement puts power in our hands, in the hands of the people, to design, prototype, produce, fund, manufacture, distribute, market, and sell our own goods. And we can do this because the movement is about a democratization of the tools of production. So the tools that are usually industrial grade tools are available to us at places called maker spaces, which could be in schools or in other spaces that provide this facility of 3D printers, milling machines, CNC machines, sewing machines, big bakery ovens, whatever, what have you, for you to be able to create. And this would be like tools that you would normally not be able to have access to. And we have a democratization of information, and we have a lot of free content, also free design like AutoCAD. One of the essential elements of the maker movement is a spirit of openness. So there's the open source movement is, my son's having an online class, you might, because I'm online, because you heard. It's, you know, school online nowadays. And so it's about the democratization of all these access that you would not have before. And an essential part of the maker movement is the spirit of openness and sharing. And so a lot of the designs are shared with everyone online. You can access the blueprints. It has a Creative Commons where you have different levels of sharing if you're not doing it for profit and all of those things. So it is for the first time, we can make things using tools that we could never get our hands on. And in this maker space, or in this world of makers, you meet other people who are interested to create things, either in their own homes. You could have your own 3D printer at home. You could have whatever equipment. Maybe some people are into electronics, and you have PCB boards, and you can of course, the internet is useful for in Indonesia. But what I'm talking about generally here, we're talking about digital fabrication and the maker movement in that sense. So the Makerland does allow some. We do go into crafts, arts and craft, but we are really at the intersection of culture, art, science. So making.
Dari Makerland, siapa?
Oh, there's somebody else. Hello.
Iya, itu dia. Pernah kerja sama sama BPT.
Oh, someone's joined us.
Kerja sama sama BPT apaan?
Yeah. Hi, people
okay.
from BPPT.
Oh, BPPT, apa kabar? BPPT is an institution that
one
has
of our
supported
partners. Yeah.
One of our
partners.
A government institution, an agency. So the act of making fosters this collaborative problem-solving environment where together we solve together. It nurtures something important, a curiosity, and the spirit of collaboration. And we become creators rather than producers. We make our own things, and it goes with this whole sustainable future idea. Now we go to the Habibi Festival. As we started within the Habibi Festival, we experimented. I think one of our founders visited the Bay Area Maker Fair and said, okay, Zaleha, okay, I know you've been talking about makers for a long time, but now I can kind of see where it can go. So then we started within the Habibi Festival of Science, Technology and Innovation. We had the first Makerland in 2017. And just to map the journey, it was a very interesting start. We had maybe 20 makers the first time. We had an open call. And we went on in 2018 to different parts of Indonesia, which was a very eye-opening experience. That was in Batam, that's near Singapore, in Solo, which is central Java, and then in Bandung, which is about 3 hours drive from Jakarta. So we found a different vibe, yeah, because of the different cultures. Maybe I can just ask Ayu, what did you think? You know, when we went out of Jakarta to these areas, what did you think? What was your feel about the makers?
Yeah, actually, the maker soul is in there in all the people in Indonesia. So we have different culture. We have like 1,000 different language and also different art and craft. But actually, the basic maker soul is already there in our indigenous people. Yeah, so I think that's what I think about the maker in Indonesia.
There's a famous, well, I think one of the writers mentioned that making is what it means to be human. We were meant to make, you know, our hands have these neurons, and there's been articles and research about that we feel, not to say that we don't feel complete if we don't make, but this is when we're using all our senses. It's a whole body experience. It's transformative when you actually get down to it and make your own thing as opposed to just buying something. So where are we now? So Makerland was part of the Habibi Festival, and it continued its journey. And last year we had a great turnout. We have workshops and talk shows and exhibitions, and it's a time for makers from all over Indonesia to meet each other. And we have a lot of young people that come to the Habibi Festival and Makerland. So let's take a look at a short 1-minute video of what it feels like to be at Makerland in Jakarta, Indonesia. Okay, Ayu, let's play the video.
Yeah.
We held it in a big hall, a convention center, and we used bamboo. Bamboo is a wonderful material. Could you play the video? And technology.
Yeah, it's still trying to. Yeah.
Okay, we'll give it a
internet
seconds,
connection, I think.
Okay, let's move on.
We've had our challenges with videos today.
Yeah. Maybe you can.
Let's keep going then. Let's keep going to the next slide. What was in that video? You see, at Habibi Festival we get about 50,000 to almost 100,000 people coming through, and a lot of them are young kids, students. It's wonderful, and we feature all the crude prototypes of the makers right down to the ones that are ready to go for market. And you get also to experience VR and AI, and to try out, you know, scientific experiments, or just to play and to get into the just to create and do simple things. It does not mean that you have to get into high tech, but the kids sometimes also try soldering for the first time, and a lot of them get to see, you know, maybe pictures tell a better story. Quickly here, Makerland recently is now with CAST, or under CAST, if you like, and CAST is an organization, Culture, Arts, Science and Technology. We work in the space that's at the intersection of culture, arts, science and tech, and that's where we find the maker movement also. And we believe that by bridging these disciplines, culture, arts, science and tech, we can help drive innovative and sustainable solutions for change. And we believe in a meaningful life ecosystem, and that filters down to Makerland as well. We advocate that. And what do we mean by meaningful, life-centered ecosystem? What we support engagements or systems and decisions that are for a sustainable, earth-friendly future. So that it's got an ethical framework and design, it's inclusive, that's important, it's mindful, and it's regenerative. It's more like a circular economy mindset as opposed to an extractive economy. So we champion that, and we would like to get into engagements. CAST at the moment is engaged in an online hackathon for COVID-19, where we have makers of all disciplines coming on board to try and address the problem. And we are also starting a survey to map the makers in Indonesia. So here, let's take a look at one of the makers that, just to get to know, that is Hafiz. He's a renewable energy champion. There you see him in the street march advocating for addressing the climate crisis. At the bottom there you see this triangular shaped huts that's in Warebo, in the island of Flores, and they have a solar system in their homes, and he goes out there to help them to embrace this technology. And there's on the right, he's with the school children. This is kind of like they call Karang Taruna, kind of like Boy Scouts of Indonesia, and he's explaining renewable energy to them. So he goes to kind of way out places to share about solar energy and renewable energy.
This is very exciting. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stop because we've got another presenter ready to go.
Okay.
There's
We
just
should ask for 20 minutes, right?
here's the good news.
Yeah.
There's another program going on in July 9th, and come
Oh, I
back
see.
and you can finish and talk about even more things. And we'd love to have some of your makers as part of this. So thank you very much.
Okay.
Oh,
And we
wonderful.
will see the video. Next time when you come, we will see the video.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jake and Julie. Thank you for having us.
Where did
Thank
she
you
get?
very much.